We've been working with DUMAC almost 8 years now, so it's been a long relationship, a very beneficial relationship. Working with DUMAC goes back to when we first built our first Arby's in Wytheville, Virginia. I was quite frustrated with the Panasonic dealers that we were dealing with and wanted to keep Panasonic registers in all of our concepts. And when dealing with the Arby's, I was given the name of DUMAC. That's how I first got in touch with Gary in there from Grant Avenue. And it was a wonderful relationship, first because I could continue to use Panasonic. You did a wonderful job in the first install that we did. Everything went smooth, and everything that you promised was delivered upon in there. So that was probably the key, was having somebody for Panasonic. You also are very, very knowledgeable in the food industry, fast food industry, which was a key benefit for us as a company, which aided us in developing programs moving forward. And third, the relationship of working with, we're a family-owned business, DUMAC a family-owned, and just the marriage between the two companies has just been phenomenal all the way through. Whatever DUMAC says, you've always promised and you've delivered on all the time. And the other key part was being able to have a company that can do back office and registers, everything together as a package together. SBNet has a lot of key features in there for myself, and I think upper management. Key benefit is being able to log into DUMAC every day, and right on the front screen you're able to see your sales for today, for yesterday. One scroll down, you can manage your entire company with sales, food costs, and labor, which really helps you control your margins. I would probably say I use the financial summary at least once or twice a day. I pull that up every single month, every day in there, and I look at sales, cash, labor, employee discounts. There's key factors in there that you can pull up and manage your business. Spreadsheets, calling the stores, store visits, reports in the store. Every Thursday when I pull up the financial summary, I will look at the crew labor, and I'm able to go back and say, this is what your crew labor budget is, this is how far you're over or under, and react, so by the end of the week we come into budget. So yes, and the same thing with labor reports too. I mean, you can go into a DUMAC report, and on the fly you click on a report and it will tell you exactly how many employees are on the clock at that time in there and how many employees should be on the clock, and somebody that didn't punch out in there, and that corrects a lot of overtime in there where the employee should have punched out at nighttime, didn't punch out, and extra labor. Before SBNet, we actually went to the web. We would take payroll, it would be downloaded into our back office PC, that would be pulled into DUMAC and go through another program in our office and download into our Ultra Pro program for payroll, which probably we started early Monday morning, and it would take our payroll specialist until Monday afternoon or sometimes Tuesday morning to extract all that data. Now, within a couple hours, she has all the payroll data with 0 errors. We would have numerous payroll periods where overtime was underreported, overreported, people getting extra checks, and all that has been eliminated. Eliminating almost a whole day of pulling reports, the dollar amount of people being overpaid, underpaid, writing special checks, overnight delivery of checks, so quite substantial. In reducing shrink using SBNet, one key factor is looking at the 4-week sales trends in there, and it shows you every single hour, and as we were explaining to some other people in the room before, is you can go in there and look at your late night sales or your early morning sales and see a fluctuation if you're doing, say, $100 every single hour, and then you've got one day part in there that all of a sudden for that 1 hour you drop down to $50, that's a key factor that somebody's playing with numbers. When you go back and you look at employee discounts or manager discounts, and all of a sudden you see a store that doesn't have any or has too many, those are key factors that you can go back to, get with the manager, and analyze where your theft is coming from. You're always going to find a manager that wants to find a way to play with things and move things around. Another key factor is the new reports that DUMAC has designed for inventory, days on hand, and going back and looking at it and saying, okay, this is where your inventory level should be based upon your theoretical food cost. And then you can go back and look at a store that has an inventory level maybe $3,000–4,000 above other stores, and key that down to the key ingredients and see exactly which items are over. Is it buns? Is it bag-in-a-box? I mean, key items that people try to pad on their inventory. And then you can go back to the manager and say, wait a second, this is exactly what you should have. DUMAC is a Class A Act. You will take care of it all the time. Everyone that I have ever worked with in DUMAC will bend over backwards to make sure that they can assist you in a very timely manner and do whatever it takes. I would highly recommend DUMAC to other franchisees. What I enjoy working with is DUMAC is all the people, the thought process. It's a company that's always thinking forward and how to improve what they have and come up with new programs to help the people out in the field.